Good morning, playmaker. How are you? Yep.
Y'all are funny, man, but y'all are good. I got to give you that. Y'all are good. No, I'm doing well. I'm doing much better this morning now. Yesterday was a whole nother thing. I was trying to get back home, and I get to the airport, supposed to take off and land in time, enough for me to do the show. They put us on the plane. We go out. Then we sit out there for a while. Then we come back, and the plane didn't leave to 7 hours later. And they kept saying, well, you can leave on the next one, but we don't have a first-class seat. I said, well, when is this one leaving? If they would have just told me, you're going to be here for 6 hours, I'd have dealt with coach. But don't keep pushing it back 30 minutes at a time, and I keep holding on to my first-class seat. Those are the times I said, I got to get over that flying private thing. I just got to get over it.
Yes.
But outside of that, man, today I'm in the gym. I'm feeling good. I'm back on good street again. Now let's talk about this Odell Beckham thing.
Is it done? Is it over? It feels like it's done and over.
Well, I hope not. I hope it's not done. I hope it's not over. You know what I mean? I understand if somebody comes out and tell me, hey, it's a little longer process this time, because mentally, it's a difficult process. That's the one thing that scares the hell out of you when you first come back. Remember Michael Gallup said, I need another week. It's a fear. Even though that knee was repaired and it's literally stronger than your other knee, it's still the fear of going through what you just went through, that whole grinding process. It scares you so much. So, yeah, Odell got to go over and get over that twice. Like, it happened twice. So, yeah, that's why I knew it may take a little time to get him back on the field. But his talent is always needed, even beyond this year.
Beyond this year, like, to me, if he's going to be here for this playoff run, then that changes everything. I'd be in. But, like, if it's going to be next year, this team is in a position with money to, maybe draft somebody instead of signing another $20 million wide receiver, which they just got rid of.
Yeah, but you can draft who you want. And, what are the odds? Okay, here's your question. What are the odds that Odell Beckham gets back closer to Odell Beckham, or what are the odds, chop and chop, you do numbers all the time, are you going in the draft and finding you a Justin Jefferson, someone close to that? You see what I'm saying? Those odds, I would almost say it's better leaning in, let's just get Odell Beckham than going to try to find another guy that we don't know if we're paying out like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather have that bird in hand. If I can get it back healthy, I know the kind of ability he has, as opposed to that bird in the bush. Well, his numbers say he can do this, but we don't know what his head says when he hit the NFL.
Mike, when's the last time you spoke to Odell?
We texted probably about a week and a half ago. You know what I mean? Because I've been trying to push him to the podcast so I can talk with him, and he's been pushing me off. And that's the first hint I got that something may not be right. Because I was like, man, let's just chop it up and talk about it. He said, well, why don't we wait till around Thanksgiving? This was way before Thanksgiving. He said, well, let's wait around Thanksgiving. And I said, why wouldn't he want to start stirring it up and chopping it up if he was ready to play right now, coming back around this time? The more conversations about it, the bigger the number goes. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't really want to do that just yet. So I kind of got a little something, and maybe he was just not ready.
Would you have advised him to work out, or you understand why he hasn't for teams?
Well, that all depends on, what he looks like. Because if you're asking for a certain number, and you go out here and you look way less than that number, then that's going to be hard. You rather lead people up in the world of what we're doing, looking at all the possible greatness and never thinking about all the possible negative. But if you see him limping around on the field when he tries to work out, then that negative rushes your brain. So I would rather work out if I'm going to be the one to sign him. I would, if I'm him, I would do just what he's doing.
Do you know where he wants to be? Did he get swooped up in all the attention and the Mavs game and Micah and Diggs and Jerry? Do you know if that made a great impression on him, or do you think it's more likely he's mad, as some journalists are accusing the Cowboys of leaking his medical information out there. Do you think the Cowboys may have done him dirty here in a sense?
Listen, man, I was looking around on all of social media when he was supposed to be visiting all of these other places, and I didn't see any brouhaha, what they call it, brouhaha in them other places. Yeah. Well, you saw the brouhaha here, and he loves brouhaha. He loves brouhaha. That's his thing. Brouhaha is his thing. So ain't no way that played a negative effect. I don't care what got out. You know what I'm saying? When I hit Odell sometime, he's on that little Twitch thing or whatever, playing video games, and I'm talking to him with all these people watching us talk. I said, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I know this before I say something that I don't want everybody else to not know. You know what I'm saying? So don't be so trust me. Anywhere brouhaha, that's always good. That's never bad.
Michael Irvin, Diamond Factory Hotline here on 105 through the Fan. Do you, Michael Irvin, think that Odell Beckham plays this season?
I think Odell Beckham plays. I think but what would he give you is the question. You know what I mean? And here's the downtown to that. The downtown, I would say, which is the downside to that, is if he tries to get out there and ramp up and get ready or whatever, and he's not playing right now, that those same bright lights that you love so much turn on you and become dark. Oh, man, this was a bad idea. It's a bad pick, bad contract. Why did they do this? Why did they do that? You know what I mean? So I know he wants to be really ready when he steps on the football field because he's going to have to deal with whatever criticism or glory comes with it.
If he plays this year, does the team he plays for win the Super Bowl?
Say that again.
If he plays this year, and we don't know who he plays for yet, but if he plays this year and he actually gets on the field, does the team he play for win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, if he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Right.
There you go.
But Mike has
that's what I'm trying to sell it to. That's what I say to him, man. Listen, man, you think the Giants going anywhere? Y'all stop playing, man. And even if Buffalo got in there, I told you there was a joke. Oh man, when we first started at Miami, there was a joke they put out about Jimmy that I kind of used for Buffalo. And I said, man, first Giants ain't going nowhere. You know that. In Buffalo, they don't eat cereal in a bowl in Buffalo. You know why? Because they'll lose them. That's why. They lost all
made the bowl. To the bowl, y'all.
Yeah. You come back to that because they used to say that about Jimmy in Miami when we first got there. We lost the first bowl game in Penn State. So that was the joke. So I dropped that back on them. But I like to say it. I may be bull joking, but I ain't lying. They have lost all the bowl games, and ain't nobody got Giants going to the Super Bowl.
But your confidence level has gone down over the course of the past few days, right?
Confident level in what all Odell Beckham may possess and give us this year.
In Odell being on the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, and Odell being on that. Yeah, you feel a little bit has come off of that. Just a little bit of the excitement has come off of it. But you know how this is, man. We don't know. And Jerry's negotiating too. Jerry's right to say, well, yeah, change if he's not playing this year. Even if I want him past this year, I should say that because then I got to work the numbers even past this year. So I'm still, I may have dropped a little on the hopeful list, but I'm still pretty excited about it on the possibility list.
Deion, give us your Deion. I have a question about Deion.
Jeez.
Sorry, Mike. Give us your top three in the NFC in order right now.
Okay. Well, listen, and this thing changed drastically last week because San Fran. You had. I'll give you the top three. I got Dallas, Philly, and San Fran up there. Those were the top three, and right on the outskirts, I told you Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota's out there. But now with what happened in San Fran, you got to tie Minnesota in, and I got to double up that bottom three as San Fran and Minnesota. I'm not cutting Minnesota. I'm not cutting San Francisco out because if you can get serviceable at that quarterback position, you can still do great things with that play designer the scheme that those guys have, and that defense that they have. So all I will do is bring Minnesota in that grip.
How do you feel about Deion at Colorado?
Listen now, this is I only laugh, Coach. When I talked to him, he called me yesterday. And he was talking about, because now people are turning on him and almost want to say, like,
Yep.
You're leaving the brothers. I'm going to stop people. We got to stop some of this stuff we do. First of all, we talk about we don't get opportunities. And then when a guy like Deion gets opportunities, we talk about, he's selling the brothers out and taking the money. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't split the baby like that. You got to take the head with the feet. Come on, stop doing this, please.
Mike, let me ask you a follow-up, because we talked to you about this after your original COVID take. And maybe we have a soft spot now for Stephen A. after he came on the show. Stephen A. catches these criticisms. Jalen Rose. What do you say back to your black followers, spectators, viewers when they say, "Oh, you're a sellout, Mike. You're supposed to be saying this. You're supposed to be saying that"? How tough is that to deal with in your situation? For your opinions.
Well, first of all, no one likes to hear that if they have any kind of love for their people. And so even the people that say, "Oh, that doesn't bother me," then I got to wonder. If you say that doesn't bother you, that should bother you. I don't care who says it, whether it's real or not, and you can know it's not to be real, but it still should bother you. But by the same token, anytime progress is made, it's met with skepticism, it's met with doubt. And sometimes people look back in the long haul and say, "Oh, okay, yeah, maybe that was a good idea." They don't go back and say, "Oh, I'm sorry for saying these things about you," or "Maybe I should have looked at it this way." "Oh, I'm sorry for saying these." It's just part of the process. It's just part of the process. That's why they say if you're any kind of a trailblazer, you're going to get the brunt of the win because you're running out front. And when you're changing things by running out front, people always throw the brunt of the win in your face. And sometimes when you're in a position like these guys are, you're in a position like a Stephen A. or Deion, where you're influencing people and you're out there you're trying to change things from out front, and you're going to get the blowback in your face because you're a trailblazer. That's just the real. That's part of the process. You just got to keep pushing.
Will Deion win big at Colorado?
Deion, I'll say this again, and I say this all the time. People tell me or ask me anything about him, and we talked about this, I think yesterday, the day before that when he called me. Wherever Deion goes, he's going to make it better than it was when he got there. There is no getting around it. I call guys like him and Steve A, my little big brothers. You know why? You know why I call them that? And why they could be my big brother even though they're younger than me? Because they're so regimented and they're so directed. I can't even try to regiment myself that way. Now, I'm very hardworking and directed, but these guys are do. You know what I mean? Well, it's 9 o'clock, they're going to be there 8:45. I mean, on the dot. Don't worry about it. They're going to be there early. And I just can't possibly do that. And I love that they could, but that's how they are. And they're going to have success no matter what they dip their toe in. That's gospel. That's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I'm just letting you know. They're going to have success no matter what they dip their toe in.